umaga lahat, and thank you for tuning in with JCCAPZ News here on ASAM Network on Channel 362. I'm Christina Espinosa.
And I'm Pablo Martinez.
Today we'll be discussing the issues that many Filipinos face currently, such as working overseas, remittances, and immigration statuses.
Yes, Christina. Many Filipinos around the world work away from home in order to support their families and loved ones.
Contrary to popular belief, the Philippines is plentiful with natural resources and exportable goods. However, by and large, one of the most important and abundant exports are overseas Filipino workers. Every year, several thousands of Filipinos leave their homes to head overseas in search of opportunity in foreign lands. The number of overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, deployed are increasing each year. According to the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, or POEA, there were a total of 1.8 million OFWs in 2015. 1.4 million of them were land-based and 406,000 were sea-based. That same year, data showed that most of the countries belonging to the top 10 destinations of OFWs were in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. POEA data showed that for over 5 years, the highest number of OFWs were deployed to Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Singapore. The number of overseas Filipino workers who worked abroad at any time during the period of April 2016 to September 2016 was estimated at 2.4 million. The Philippines sends more people to work abroad than any country except for Mexico. About 10% of the Philippine population, which is about 10 million people, have worked outside of the Philippines during their lifetime, mostly as maids and laborers. As a matter of fact, the 5 most popular major occupational groups for Filipinos deployed abroad are professional, technical, and related workers such as nurses and engineers, services and sales workers, craft and related trades workers, plant and machine operators and assemblers, and clerical support workers.
Here we have Zarlene Landero, who's reporting live from a popular Filipino restaurant in the local community, Jollibee. Zarlene?
Thank you, Pablo. Here's our first guest who will be introducing himself.
I'm Cesar Prudente with the Marines. I've been in the Marines for 7 years. Been stationed over in Yuma, Arizona, and then Camp Pendleton, California. Now currently in Anaheim.
And how do you feel about the Filipino community?
Over here, it's small, but it's tight-knit.
What issues have you seen in the Filipino community?
Just like anything else, like a money issue. I'm pretty sure a lot of Filipinos, even from this area, were sent back home to Philippines just for like a year or two. We hear it a bit ago, like debt, to save money and yada yada yada. But it's only when you grow up that you actually like know the value of money, that you actually appreciate, like, oh, they did that for this. Oh, this happened so that we can be well, or we can live better. Like, there's a lot of Filipinos that, you know, work at the airports over in like Kuwait or Dubai. Some people working like the custodial, cooking.
So, Mark, have you sent a balikbayan box before?
Yes, to my family, just to help out and stuff like that.
And what items did you put in yours?
Spam, corned beef, a lot of like processed food, things that'll last them forever. Rice. We did send them like chocolates for the kids. We did send them like coffee and instant coffee.
Did you feel that it was an obligation or an expectation to send a balikbayan box back to your family?
Yes. I never really thought about it that way. I never thought like one way or the other. I just did it, or we just did it because like we came from there. We know what it's like. A bit ago, not too long ago, like another typhoon, another like thing hit it. So.
Thank you, Mark. Now back to you guys at the studio.
Thank you, Zarlene.
Majority of OFWs find themselves sending money and supplies back home to support their families. These remittances end up playing a critical role in the stimulation of the Philippine economy. The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, in 2012 said that the Philippines cannot do without the cash remittances from OFWs. This is true, as cash sent to the country by OFWs, according to the World Bank, is a key factor for the resilience of the Philippines. It has been able to withstand recession amid the economic crises of the previous years. According to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, OFW cash remittances from January to August in 2015 reached 16.21 billion, which equates to roughly 764 billion pesos. Remittances contribute to 10% of the country's GDP. according to the Philippine Statistics Authority and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, which is the country's central bank. That's nearly $37 billion every year. Of course, there's money and even policies by the Philippine government that encourage Filipinos to work overseas. Teachers and nurses can make $25,000 to $45,000 in the U.S. doing work that pays about $3,600 a year in the Philippines. Richard C. Paddock wrote in the Los Angeles Times, "A cook on a cargo ship can make more than the Philippine president's official salary of $1,000 a month. A bar singer in Japan can earn more than a Philippine senator. Those who bring or send their earnings home pay no income taxes. And the government offers returning workers low-cost equipment and tools to help them start small businesses. Despite the country's high economic growth, more and more Filipinos are still finding it hard to find local jobs." That is why thousands of Filipinos are lining up just to apply for jobs abroad at the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. The Philippine economy grew at a better-than-expected 7.2% in 2013, yet the unemployment rate at 7.3% remains the highest in Southeast Asia. Kelly Bird, principal economist at the Asian Development Bank, said, "Given its young population, with some 45% of the population under the age of 24, the jobs that are being created are simply not enough to absorb the large number of job seekers each year." Another staple of OFWs are balikbayan boxes. These boxes, often large in size, are completely filled with goods found in the foreign lands now inhabited by OFWs and are meant to supply family and friends back in the Philippines. Balikbayan boxes' contents often span a wide range of things from clothes and fashion accessories to food and common household items such as toiletries. This tradition can be directly linked to the early 70s when the Balikbayan program, a plan set by the Philippine government, came into effect. It started with the success of a national campaign in the Philippines encouraging people to seek jobs in other countries. This campaign was a way to boost the home economy.
Now we'll be going over to AJ Aquino, who is out interviewing a local Filipino community member. AJ?
So Lisa, when you sent home balikbayan boxes, did you feel like it was an obligation?
It's something that I guess Filipinos are obligated to do. It's like when you are here, it's like an obligation. But I've always brought balikbayan box every time I go home because it's just a, you know, it's like it's a part of going home. You have to have a balikbayan box when you go for your friends because they expect you to bring stuff to them. So yeah, it's, you know, you're expected to. Even if you say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go home and, you know, I'll just bring them stuff. Buy them stuff when you get there." No, because they like stuff from the United States, even though it's made in China, as long as it's from the States.
What were your plans when you immigrated to the United States?
Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to come to the States. But what I was going to do when I come here, that wasn't really clear to me. All I know is just I want to come over here. My aunt's daughter, my cousin, her name's Cynthia, she gave me a job at this warehouse in Gardena. Then that's what I have been doing. I have been doing bookkeeping for a long, long time.
What was the biggest struggle you faced when you immigrated here?
With a whole lot of prayers, I was able to find an employer that, I don't know, I think sponsorship. It gave me a sponsorship so that I could, while I work for, as long as I'm working for him, he could adjust my status to a permanent residence here in the States, as opposed to the visa that I had.
Thank you for that eye-opening interview, AJ.
Thank you for joining us today. Catch us tomorrow morning for an exclusive interview with Manny Pacquiao while we interview him about his debut album dropping this summer in stores. Stay classy, Fullerton.